You finally start making progress. Things go so well, and then somehow you find a way to ruin it every single time. If you've got ADHD, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've probably had this happen way too many times. You finally find that structure. Things feel balanced once and for all. You've got momentum, and then all of a sudden, you stop showing up. No big disaster, no reason, you just disappear from your own progress. And that's ADHD self-sabotage. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why it happens, what's really behind it, and how to finally stop destroying the very stability that you've been trying to build your whole life. We need to first start here. Self-sabotage in ADHD isn't laziness. It's emotional dysregulation through chaos. When life gets calm, your brain panics. It says, where's the danger? Where's the excitement? So it creates its own. But here's the thing, what I'm about to show you next is crucial, because understanding why your life always feels like chaos is only half the puzzle. You're about to see the real reason behind it, the hidden trigger that makes your brain crave chaos, even when everything's going really well. Hey, just on a quick sign up before we get back to the video, if you're someone who's just absolutely exhausted and fed up of just trying to figure this whole thing out, maybe you just want a permanent solution and you've heard about the Mind Your ADHD Academy, you just want to learn more about it and how it's transforming lives all around the world in record-breaking time, well, there's a link below down in the description which explains everything you need to know. Let's get back to the video. Back in the day when I was an electrical engineer and I just started my business, I had clients coming through, everything clicked, systems were running smooth, my energy was the best that it could have ever been. One night, I just caught myself rebuilding this whole website that I spent thousands on from scratch at 2 AM. There was no reason for it. Nothing was broken. I just didn't know how to sit in calm. There was something inside of me, a voice in my head that kept telling me that maybe peace meant that something bad was about to happen. And that's when I realized that I wasn't addicted to chaos. I was addicted to dopamine through danger. So here's what I did. Every morning before touching my phone or even having a coffee, I created what I call the morning anchor. I would just stand still, take one very slow breath and just say, we are safe, no fires today. Sounds small, right? But it's extremely powerful if you do it consistently, because you're teaching your nervous system that calm is not danger. And once your body starts believing that, your brain then stops looking for ways to burn everything down. But now listen closely, because what I just showed you is a great starting point, but it's not enough on its own. Because even if you teach your body to stop craving chaos, you're still going to sabotage yourself if you don't fix this next piece. And this next part, well, this is the key ingredient that actually makes the first step work. It's the emotional identity behind your chaos. A recently retired athlete inside of the Mind Your ADHD Academy, let's call him Steve. Well, Steve retired and then he spiraled into depression immediately after retiring. He said, I didn't know who I was without the chaos of competition. Now imagine that for a second. Just imagine being an Olympic athlete, winning gold medals, but all of a sudden you retire and now you feel lost without that pressure. But that's not weakness, that's conditioning. When your identity has been built around pressure and proving yourself, peace feels like emptiness. And if you've got ADHD, that emptiness can feel unbearable because your brain equates stillness with danger. So here's how we fix that. And you're going to want a pen handy because you're going to want to take notes. Grab a phone and hit record and just ask yourself one question. What part of me keeps ruining things? And what is it trying to protect me from? Don't judge the answer, just listen very carefully. You're going to hear things like, I'm scared, you'll burn out again. Or maybe I'm scared that you'll get hurt. That's your subconscious mind trying to protect you from the pain that you no longer need protection from. But let me be very clear here. Even once you understand all of what I've just explained, it still can't last without this next piece. Because just knowing why you self-sabotage isn't going to stop the urge to do it again. You need something a lot more powerful. A way to redirect that energy, to feed your brain's need for intensity without blowing your life up. Take Alex, he's 38, runs a business, married, he's got 2 kids. Everything's going well. He's got the stability, he's got the progress, he's calm, and out of nowhere, he signs up for 5 new commitments, starts a side project, and volunteers for something that he didn't even want to do in the first place. Does that sound familiar? He's not being reckless, his brain is just chasing stimulation through sabotage. Because calm in his mind just feels like a sense of withdrawal. So here's what Alex did instead. He built what I call the controlled fire. Once a week, Alex picked one challenge that raised his heart rate but strengthened him. Boxing, cold plunges, public speaking, or even a silent walk with his thoughts. You see, this training taught his brain to get its dopamine from controlled intensity, not distraction. And that's how Alex broke the self-sabotage cycle for good. But before you start rebuilding that control, you've got to understand the foundation behind it, and that's your relationship with focus. Because if you don't learn how to focus without forcing it, you're just going to burn out and then just fall right back into self-sabotage again, because it's the missing piece that makes everything that you've just seen actually stick. And that's exactly what I covered in this video right here. So click this video right now and give it a watch, because it's the missing piece and one of the most crucial parts that actually makes everything that you've just learned stick. And I'll see you on it.